Halo semuanya, jumpa lagi bersama saya Ahmad Rizky Utama di podcast Teknogen. Hari ini kita bahas-bahas tentang student exchange bersama dua tamu spesial kita. Yang satu kemana ya? Yang satu kemana? Mari kita kenalan sama mereka. Oke, hari ini kita dengan siapa nih? Mungkin dari masnya dulu.
Oke, halo semuanya. Aku Raffi. Nama lengkapku Raffi Ramadan. Panggil aja sih Raffi. Aku angkatan 2023. Aku exchange ke Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam.
Oke, and you?
Hello everyone, I am Muhammad Sazal. I am from 2024 batch in UMIA Technology Informasi. Recently I finished my student exchange program from Inti International University, Malaysia.
Okay, but before we started, honestly, was the exchange more enjoyable or tiring? Jadi exchange kemarin itu capek gak mas? Atau jalan-jalan doang atau gimana gitu mas? Enak, banyak enaknya capeknya gitu.
Honestly, for me personally, it's not really that different. Gak terlalu berbeda lah dengan Yogyakarta atau Indonesia. It's not really that different because it's have the same weather.
Okay.
Cuacanya sama. Have the same common like in the Southeast Asia culture, but the difference is only one. In Yogyakarta or Indonesia, you don't get any typhoon, but in Vietnam, you get a typhoon.
What is typhoon?
Typhoon is angin puting beliung.
Oh, okay. Tornado.
Okay. Yeah, tornado.
Okay. What about you?
Actually for me it was a good experience there because there was a lot of international students I could meet. They are from different background, and also there are a lot of options to food.
A lot.
It was like there was everything I could imagine. Like even in the cafeteria, there was a lot of options like Arab, Indian, Thai, Chinese, and many more.
So mix it like that.
Yes, and for the academic pressures, I think it was so enjoying plus tiring because the course load was so heavy. Every day I had classes from morning to evening, but still I got enough time to go hang out with my friends and the new friends. And then we went to places like the beach and the KLCC together to enjoy. Even we had a night out. The whole night we were at the KLCC walking around. And I think it was a very good experience for me. So it was. I think it was like tiring plus enjoying.
Oh, it both and same like that.
Yeah, but kayaknya aku agak kebaik dari Sazat deh. Because Sazat is more tiring on the course.
Okay.
But for me, it's easier on the course, but tiring on the beside of that. As contohnya, as an example, to find a food, it's so hard to find halal food on there.
Very hard. Okay.
That's why in Vietnam I need to cook. I need to supply my own with halal meat and etc. that containing halal.
Okay, so your survival skill it's used.
Yeah, it's very usable over there.
Okay, it's a continue for the next question. Yeah. This is the first question. During the exchange, were there any moments of culture shocks that surprised you or made you adapt quickly? Jadi momen apa sih mas yang bikin kalian tuh culture shock gitu? Yang sehingga buat kalian tuh bikin kaget dan harus adaptasinya cepat gitu. Maybe you first, Sazat, or
Sazat, you can go first.
Well, for culture shock, I think there is not any significant, as I think Indonesian and Malaysian culture is kind of similar. So I'm already used to this kind of culture. But I think they eat a lot of spicy food. I think more than Indonesian. They like it too much, and they put spice in every food.
Every food?
Most of the foods, and they don't mention if it's spicy or not. So they don't ask the level. They just give it to you in your table, and after you eat, and you know that.
So
oh my god, this is so spicy for me.
So you're gonna guess this is spicy or not?
Yeah, you have to guess by looking at the appearance.
By the appearance.
And how about you, Miss Rafi?
Yeah, Untuk culture shocknya, untuk aku sih mungkin Vietnam tuh dia tuh negara satu-satunya di Asia Tenggara loh ya, yang aku tahu. Dia tuh drive on the right side of the road.
So different in the another country in Asia.
Different from other Southeast Asia country. They have drive on the right side of the road and different steering too, and the helmet over there. Di Indonesia kan biasanya helm half face gini doang kan. Di sana nggak di sini. Kayak pakai helm sepeda.
Setengah.
Helm sepeda.
Setengah.
Ya, satu, kedua, di horn.
Klakson.
Tin, 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 tin. It's like a common hearing.
Common.
Common hearing and the language. The language is a big culture shock and a big barrier for me. Gitu.
Oke.
Language itu.
Itu culture shock di negara kalian.
Iya.
Di negara kalian itu dengan culture shock segala macam sulit ya kayaknya ya hidup di negara baru, negara orang ya bisa dibilang gitu.
Kalau masalah negara baru sih enggak. Aku ke Vietnam tuh yang Ho Chi Minh ini udah kedua kali.
Kedua kali.
Nah, yang pertama tuh aku di Hanoi. Dulu kecil lah, dulu pas aku kecil aku di Hanoi itu cuma seminggu atau 2 minggu di Hanoi. Ya dulu kecil suka berkelana keluar kan. Habis itu balik ke Indonesia normal, dapat jatah lagi ke Ho Chi Minh. Pas dibandingin masih enak Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh still better because in Hanoi you can only like find like 2 or 3 mosques in the whole
city.
You can say like whole city. Kalau di Ho Chi Minh masih banyak, still a lot. Masih banyak kayak gitu.
Sazat, is the first time you go to Malaysia?
Yes, it was my first time.
First time.
Yes.
It's very different in Indonesia.
I think not so different, but still there are a lot of differences.
They're similar. Right?
Yeah, like for Shalat Jumat, we had to go with buses because in the campus we didn't have any big mosque. There was only musalla, but no real mosque.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and the Jumat mosque was so far, like 20 minutes by bus.
20 minutes, try 30. Pardon. Try 40.
It's valuable.
Yeah.
Okay, two questions. Mungkin in Indonesia, setelah exchange, cara kalian lihat dunia IT itu berubah nggak? Kalau iya, berubahnya di mana? So in English, after the exchange, has your perspective on the IT world is changed? If so, where did it change?
Well, I think after I went there, I met with many people. Like there were Indian, especially Indian, and many other from there. And I realized that they are so ahead compared to the rest of the students. Especially in IT, they are very good in programming and problem solving. They have a problem with their accent, which is often not understandable, not clear enough. And sometimes it seems funny, but still, I think they are very good compared to what we study, and their curriculum is very intense.
Okay.
Like they sometimes mention that they are in the campus for like continuously 2 or 3 days just for working in projects. So I think they are. Whenever you go to exchange program like this and meet these kind of people, you can get inspired to learn more and practice more, study more. I think this can bring some. That thing brings some changes in my mindset.
So it's a lot of
like if you wanna aim for top companies like Google or Microsoft, you need to compete with them. And if you don't see them in front of you, you will never understand that how hard they are going and who you are gonna compete with in future if you are aiming for the top companies of the world. So I think you will be able to learn a lot of things from these kind of programs.
So you must a lot of preparation for teach with him.
If you wanna go for competitive, you must be like them. And I will I want to use them as example, like be like them if you wanna aim high.
Okay. Dengan Mas Raffi gimana?
Karena ada pertanyaan lagi ini, aku izin jawab pakai bahasa Indonesia aja lah.
Iya.
Kalau different sih, ya different. Kayak salah satunya aja, contohnya deh. Ada di suatu matkul, kalau di sini tuh menggunakan metode A. Nah, menggunakan ya kita pakai bahasa pemrograman aja lah. Di sini tuh pakainya kan Kotlin.
Oke.
Pas di Vietnam aku tuh baru pertama kali ketemu yang namanya Java. Java buat mobile app.
Mobile yang
Mobile
biasanya
app, buat bikin aplikasi mobile, dan itu tuh sistemnya beda banget. Kalau yang di Kotlin ada Jetpack Compose. Nah, Jetpack Compose itu kan ya hardcode lah, code base. Kalau di Java tuh beda, dia tuh drag and drop, kita labeling satu-satu, kita codingin satu-satu. Itu yang bikin susah.
Oke.
Dan kalau masalah plus minusnya sih, ya Indo ada plusnya, ada minusnya juga. Di Vietnam ada plusnya, ada minusnya juga, kayak gitu.
Berarti
Kalau masalah plus minusnya sih nggak terlalu kelihatan signifikan sih. Bias cuman ala kadarnya aja.
berarti perbedaan gaya ajarnya gitu
Iya,
atau
perbedaan gaya ajar sama apa ya? Kulturalnya juga sih, kayak yang Mas Azad bilang bisa 2 hari 3 hari di kampus, dan aku juga gitu pas di Vietnam kayak gitu. 2 hari 3 hari mengerjakan satu proyek di kampus.
nginep di kampus
Nginep di
ya?
kampus.
Sleep in campus.
Iya, sleep in campus, sleep in the library especially. Tidur di library di
Tidur.
perpustakaan. Nggak tidur sih, yang
enggak.
nge-work di library gitu.
Ya. Survival
Ya,
ya.
survival. Jadi balik ke apartemen cuman ya ganti baju,
Berangkat lagi.
berangkat lagi. Makan jauh lagi kalau mau keluar makan.
Ngabus.
Iya, tapi itu cuman sekali 2 kali doang, tapi sisanya mah agak santai. Kalau aku.
It's as that too. It's a lot of tasks, so you try to complete in the campus or just very.
In
chill.
Chile, it wasn't that much load. You can work from home, but you sometimes I had to like work night with my group. Like it was like till 3 a.m. of the night. I worked on a project with my teammates. So it wasn't continuous, but still I think it was very difficult.
Oh yeah, it's same difficult but it different.
In a different
Yeah,
way.
it's gonna be different. Oke, pertanyaan ketiga nih. Dari semua pengalaman yang kalian dapetin, apa sih skill baru yang paling berpengaruh buat kalian sampai sekarang? So in English, of all the experience you've been gained, what new skill has been most influential to date?
Me first, understand Java language.
For now.
Until
Okay.
now, maybe until the future, understanding Java language and using PHP.
So it's
Using
a
PHP
linear.
Laravel like that ya. Or
Okay.
for like the code base. Untuk apa ya, kayak kalau bahas masalah codingannya ya itu aku akhirnya bisa Java itu pas di Vietnam.
Sebuah kayak pencapaian banget tuh, apalagi Java Mobile tadi.
Java, iya sih Kak. Java kan, namanya Java kan terkenal dengan bahasa yang bisa dibilang tidak mudah lah ya kan. Java
Iya.
kan beda dengan JavaScript kan. Java yang bahasanya tidak mudah, jadinya ya bisa dan mengerti logik Javanya, jadinya ya oke dan bisa dipahami.
Okay, and how about you, Zad?
Well, one thing I have learned from there is you have to widen your view. Like you have to be more accepting, because if you work in an international environment,
Yeah.
then you will see there are different type of people with different mindset and different ideology. Some
Yeah.
some people less talks, works more. Some people talks too much, but they are not so focused in their work. But if there is a different type of members in your team, you cannot force your own method to them. You cannot force them to do a thing like you want. You have to give some flexibilities to them, and you have to adjust your plans according to that. So if you can learn this thing, I think you will be able to stay and survive in any environment, even if it's a national or an international level. So I think you have to become more accepting. You have to respect how other people think, and you have to adjust your plans according to their personalities. So I think
It's like a lot of brain, a lot of idea, but it one purpose.
Yes.
It's a lot of experience, I think.
Yes, you
Yeah.
can select so much experience that we get from studying abroad like that.
Waduh, pengen juga mas exchange mas.
Monggo.
Nanti deh nyusul gitu. Selesai podcast ini dulu, nyusul lah nanti. Nyusul gitu. Oke, next question. Kalau kalian boleh curang, satu kebiasaan atau budaya mahasiswa luar yang pengen kalian copy paste ke diri kalian apa sih? Gitu.
You go first. I need to think first.
If you could cheat what is one habit or culture of international student that you would like to copy paste into your own?
I
What
think this is a difficult question. Maybe can you clarify a bit?
Clarify a bit, maybe.
Like cheat code.
Yeah, cheat code. Maybe if in Indonesia the habit is like it's a habit in Indonesia, but you go to Malaysia, it's a new habit, and maybe you can copy paste the habit. So what is the habit or?
Oh, I see. So it's like
expression?
adapting something you learn from other people, right?
Yeah, it's like that.
Well, in that case, I think one habit is revising, like doing practice. It's like there is no alternative in practicing. And I have seen, especially the Indian people, they are doing the same thing again and again. Maybe in different contexts, but they are never idle. They are with their laptop. They are doing it day and night. Even they are practicing and like participating in real life internship. Very short, like 1 month, 2 months, no paying. They are not getting any payment for that, but they are still out of their own interest. They are participating in those things. They are like practicing in coding. Like they are, how to say? They are so engaged with the thing, so they don't forget. Like for us, I think whenever we learn something, we in a semester we do the projects, we submit it, and then slowly we forget the syntax. Whenever after 6 months we want to start writing code in C++, we cannot remember the context. Yeah, but it doesn't happen with those people. Whenever you want to, if you give something to build, they are like doing it so fast. So I think yeah, you have to keep increasing your practice, and also yeah, I think that's one.
So keep practicing. Keep practicing. Okay. Kalau Mas Raffi?
Untuk aku sih kayaknya sama kayak Zazat deh. Aku kan di Vietnam kan punya temen tuh orang-orang inter juga banyak. Orang Perancis, ada orang Swedia, ada orang India.
Oke.
Nah, yang orang India tuh rajinnya nggak ketulungan.
Banyak orang.
Bukan banyak orang, rajin banget dia tuh. Orang ini tuh rajin. Jadinya kayak pengen iri aja gitu dengan mereka tuh rajin ngapain, tiba-tiba kemana, tiba-tiba ngerjain apa, pas nanya di kelas ngerjain ini, lanjut kerjain yang tugas akhir gini, padahal deadline masih lama banget kayak gitu loh. Dia apa ya? Tidak suka menunda-nundanya gitu loh.
Kayaknya nggak ada kata gabut dia dalam hidupnya gitu.
Iya,
Semuanya
kayak
kerja.
Ya ada kerjaan aja lah diri gitu loh. Dia kalau gabut kayaknya gatel ya. Kalau gabut. Makanya udahlah aku ngerjain ini. Nah gitu. Jadinya itu aja sih yang bikin pengen aja gitu, kayak dia tuh nggak suka nunda-nunda. Kayak nanti aja, maybe later I gonna do it. No, they don't do like that. My friend that from India, like 3 people from India, like that. So I try to implement it, but it's a little bit exhausting.
Okay.
I gonna keep trying it, but I gonna keep trying to do it.
I hope you can copy paste all the habit. So the next question, satu kata buat describe diri kalian sebelum versus sesudah exchange. In English, one word to describe yourself before versus after the exchange. Have any word? One word? Maybe I give you 3 words. Maybe if one word is very hard for you all. Any word?
Accept the differences.
Accept the differences.
Yeah.
Why?
Accept the differences.
Why?
Because karena gini loh, aku kan di situ kan udah berinteraksi dengan banyak orang.
Yes.
Dengan aksen utara Vietnam, aksen selatan Vietnam. Dan
Different.
orang-orang Swedia, orang-orang Perancis, orang-orang India, dan mereka semua tuh punya habit, cultural difference yang sangat
Banyak deh.
Very different. So you have to like adapt to each of differences. But
Okay.
they need to adapt to your differences too.
Jadi
Jadi saling beradaptasi, jadi ketemu di tengah enak.
Oh,
Waktu itu
oke.
pas aku keluar malam lah ya, boys night out gitu.
Iya.
Boys night out kayak gitu. Udah bermain biasa, main futsal gitu. Ya ada yang marahan, ada yang enggak, ya kita harus jadi penengahnya aja. Pokoknya apa ya udahlah. Mau mereka tuh hidup di situ tuh kayak gitu. Oh ya sudah, baiklah. Jadi diambil baiknya, dibuang buruknya kayak gitu.
Okay, that's experience. How was that?
Learn
The 3
to
words.
approach.
Learn to approach.
Learn to approach. Like if you are in a new place and you are only within your friend circle or just being alone, it fails the purpose. So if you don't know how to approach to new people, even approach to your teacher, then I think you will just even you are participating in something, the purpose will not be filled.
Okay, the purpose. I accept you. Maybe last question. Have you any message for IT student who gonna exchange or tired or very want to exchange but have a heart maybe just like that? Have you any message for your friend, your IT student? Maybe you can say it.
Me first.
Yes.
The message I want to give you, like if you are thinking you are going to apply for an exchange program, the first thing you should do is try to improve your English first, because that's very important.
Yes.
Because all the exchange program are international and totally in English. So if you don't catch the class materials properly, you cannot compete with other students. Then also, for learning, I think you don't need to be an expert in grammars or not be so fluent in English. It's just the minimum level that you are being able to approach your teacher. You can ask the questions to clear any doubts. That's enough, I think. You don't need to be an expert or you don't need to become a master in English. Another thing is, after you go there, don't just sit. After you go to your exchange program, don't just sit alone or stay with your friends from your own country. Please meet with other people, because I have seen some groups, some people,
Yeah.
like whenever students from Indonesia, they are all together. Even from different universities, like I have friends from President University, they are always in one group. Even in academics, they are in one group. So the purpose of exchange is failing here.
Yeah.
So you have to make, like, if you have 4 courses, please choose different people for your different subjects. So you can learn how they think. You can adapt their good things, and also you can fix yourself or develop yourself. Also you can become more accepting. So I think, yeah, you should focus first. Before going, you should focus on English, at least for communication. And second, learn to approach new people. I think that's my message for you guys.
It's powerful message for me. I gotta try to improve my English today and tomorrow. Oke, ada pesan buat mahasiswa TI?
Lihat kamera ya, nih,
Iya.
lihat deh. Yang pertama, benar kata Zazat, improve English. Gak perlu pinter grammar, yang penting bisa ngomong, tahu A B C D, tahu, ya pokoknya tahu A B C D, tahu banyak kosakata, itu cukup banget. Yang penting bisa ngomong, bisa nanya, supaya apa, tidak tersesat. Itu satu. Yang kedua, kalau mau ke student exchange loh ya, khususnya orang-orang WMB nih, khususnya ya mahasiswa WMB nih, mahasiswa TI ataupun mahasiswa WMB, rajin-rajin buka IG-nya DGPE. Tidak sponsor, tidak apa-apa, pokoknya rajin-rajin buka IG-nya DGPE. DGPE itu biasanya tuh banyak informasi-informasi untuk exchange ke Korea. Kayak temanku sekelas tuh, dia tuh lagi di daerah mana ya, Haneda apa mana gitu. Haneda mah Jepang, pokoknya dia lagi di Korsel, dia lagi exchange sekarang semester 6 ini. Kemarin aku gantian lah, dia sekarang berangkat kayak gitu. Yang kedua, kalau mau exchange, siapin paspor.
Ya, itu tiket awal.
Ya, tiket awal tuh siapin paspor. Tapi tetap aja, yang terpenting improve your English and be active.
Be active.
Be active.
And try to brave and improve English.
Be active. Jangan jangan pasif, nunggu info dateng, nunggu ilmu dateng. apa-apa nunggu, gak gerak-gerak, gak maju-maju lah kasarannya kayak gitu.
Rezeki kan harus dijemput.
Iya, rezeki harus dijemput.
Okay. Any message for you all, or just enough?
Well, I want to add something that whenever you are, maybe you are in a lower semester and aiming for going to exchange program, but the courses they are offering is from higher semester, like maybe the final semester. So
Okay.
you are afraid that should I apply or should I not? Actually,
Okay.
the real truth is exchange courses are designed like it can like if you have the basic background, like if you know basic coding, basic programming, or basic build a basic web page, that's enough requirement for you. The teachers are gonna teach you the requirements. At least they will give you some materials so that you can prepare yourself in a very short time. So you don't need to afraid that I think I cannot cope up with this course. So just don't be afraid. If you know the basic, only maybe if you have completed 2 semesters in your home university, you are ready to go on any exchange program.
Oke, mantap banget closingannya. Terima kasih banyak Sazat, thank you for coming Sazat dan Mr. Raffi.
Wah,
Mr. Raffi nih. Mas Raffi ya. Semoga dari exchange-nya berkah. Semoga sukses for another chapter and try to best for you all. Oke, terima kasih banyak buat sobat Teknogen sekalian. Mohon maaf kalau ada kekurangan kesalahan. Sorry, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Ciao bye.